Your CPF isn't just a savings account, it is the foundation of your housing, healthcare, and retirement. In this video, I will show you the 8 most effective ways to boost your CPF savings so that you will have a much larger nest egg to retire with. So let's not waste any time and let's jump into strategy number 1, topping up your CPF SA and MA. But first, why would you want to do this? The first reason is of course higher guaranteed returns. Both your special account and Medisave account earns 4% interest per year, plus an extra 1% on the first $60,000 of your combined CPF balances. And just before anyone says,
but I invest in the S&P 500 or whatever stock can get much higher returns.
The whole point about CPF isn't to hoard big, but rather it is the part of the Kueh Lapis strategy, where just like the Kueh Lapis has many layers, your wealth should be built in layers too. With CPF as your base layer, you will secure a safe and guaranteed portion of your retirement plan. This means CPF is there to make sure that no matter what happens in the markets, you will always have a stable and risk-free layer that will continue to compound steadily in the background. The second reason is tax savings. Every year, you will get up to $8,000 of tax reliefs whenever you top up to your CPF SA or MA. So for example, if you are earning $80,000 a year and $8,000 top up would immediately reduce your income tax bill by $560, and that's on top of the 4 to 5% compounding interest that you continue to enjoy inside CPF. The third reason is government grants. If you are aged 55 and above, have less than the basic retirement sum in your CPF, earns less than $4,000 a month, and don't own any high-value property, you may qualify for the Matched Retirement Savings Scheme. Under this scheme, the government will match every dollar that you top up to your retirement account up to $2,000 a year with a lifetime limit of $20,000. That's basically free money to help you build up your retirement savings faster. Now, between CPF SA and MA, I would suggest topping up to Medisave first. That's because SA funds are locked up till you hit retirement age, while MA funds can be used for a whole bunch of healthcare expenses like Medishield life premiums, hospitalization bill, or even approved outpatient treatments. So this gives you much more flexibility in terms of usage. But before you be like,
great, let's top up our CPF MA or SA.
Personally, I feel that not everyone should rush to top up. If your annual income is below 40k, your tax bill is already very low, so the relief won't save you much. At that level, it may be better to keep your cash flexible for emergencies or to invest. But if you are earning more money, say in the 7% tax bracket or higher, top-ups will make a lot more sense. That's when you will enjoy the double benefit of meaningful tax relief plus guaranteed growth. Quick pause. Get up to $1,000 in rewards when you sign up for Payouts by Phillip Capital. To qualify, make sure Smart Park is ticked during the sign-up process. Then, depending on how much you fund and trade, you will get to earn different welcome rewards. For example, you will receive up to $50 in fractional shares when you fund a minimum of $3,000 within 14 days. Keep the funds there for 30 days while completing 3-buy trades within the same period. But if you fund at least $10,000 while executing at least 5 trades, the reward increases to $150. Additionally, the first 50 people who sign up every week will also receive an additional $50 stock coupon. The coupon that you will receive will vary depending on the week that you sign up. For example, in the first week of the promotion, it will be a Hasbro stock coupon. This is on top of 0 commission for 30 days when you fulfill the terms and conditions. So, if you are interested, you can sign up with my link down below. Moving on, another way to boost your CPF is through voluntary contributions to all 3 accounts, also known as VC3A. This is different from the special accounts or the Medisave top-ups that we have talked about earlier. With VC3A, your cash contributions is split into your ordinary account, special accounts, and Medisave accounts, following the same allocation rates as your monthly CPF contributions from work. Now, because the contributions are split across all 3 accounts, not all of your money will enjoy the sweet 4% interest in SA or MA. Some of it will go into OA, where it will only earn 2.5% interest. So in that sense, VC3A is less powerful as compared to direct SA or MA top-ups. So why would anyone want to do this? The main reason is to maximize your annual CPF contributions if you have some spare cash lying around. The annual CPF contribution cap is currently $37,740 as of 2025. If your salary alone doesn't hit that limit, you can voluntarily contribute the shortfall through VC3A to fully max it out. This can help your CPF balances grow faster, especially if you are aiming to reach milestones like the basic healthcare sum or the full retirement sum earlier. Let's say, unlike SA or MA top-ups, VC3A does not give tax reliefs for employees. The only exception is if you are self-employed. then voluntary contributions can qualify for tax relief, but only up to your net trade income for that year. This means VC3A makes the most sense for 1. Higher income employees who don't mind the lack of tax relief but want to boost CPF compounding, or 2. Self-employed individuals who want to contribute beyond just the MediSave and enjoy tax relief, or 3. People who just want a more balanced approach of topping up to all 3 accounts at the same time. Next, another way to boost your CPF is through the voluntary housing refund. So whenever you use your CPF ordinary account to pay for your housing, it is as though you are borrowing money from your future self. I thought my OA money is my money? Yes, but because when you use your OA money to pay for your housing, that money no longer earns the guaranteed 2.5% interest. Because of that, if you one day decide to sell your property, you will need to refund not just the principal, but also the accrued interest back to your CPF OA. With the voluntary housing refund, you can choose to refund these amounts that you borrowed back into your OA. The advantage is that once refunded, this money will resume earning the guaranteed 2.5% interest in your OA, thereby helping you rebuild your retirement nest egg. But here's where it gets interesting. If you do a voluntary housing refund after you turn 55, if you have already set aside your full retirement sum in your RA or the basic retirement sum with property pledging, you can actually withdraw the refunded amount anytime you want. So it's almost as though your OA becomes a high interest savings account. You can park cash there up to the amount you borrowed plus accrued interest, of course. Earn a guaranteed 2.5% return while still getting the flexibility to take it out whenever you need. So that's nice. Next up, topping up to the enhanced retirement sum. So when you turn 55, CPF will transfer your OA and SA savings into a new retirement account up to the full retirement sum. Assuming you turn 55 this year, from the age of 65 onwards, under the CPF Life standard plan, you will get a money payout of $1,610 to $1,730. But if you want to boost your retirement income even further, you can top up your RA up to the enhanced retirement sum. This will boost your money payout all the way to around $3,000, which is almost double the FRS payouts. Now, here's something interesting. While the FRS is fixed when you turn 55, the ERS will continue to increase every year. That means even if you have already reached ERS this year, the limits will continue to go up the following year. This gives you the option to top up even more money and lock in even higher payouts. So what's the catch? There's always a catch one. The first is that once you have already matched the FRS, any extra top-ups to your RA won't give you any additional tax reliefs. Besides that, while the payouts are guaranteed for life under the standard and basic plan, the payouts are fixed for life as well. This means that inflation will slowly eat into their purchasing power over time. Meanwhile, even though the escalating plan thus gives you 2% more payouts every year, which can help to offset the inflation, the starting payouts will be lower as well. Based on estimates, the escalating plan will only overtake the standard plan around age 76. This means the escalating plan is only worth it for people who know they'll live long lives. What this means is that topping up to ERS will not make sense for everyone. If you're comfortable investing and believe that you can earn higher returns from stocks, bonds or property, then you might prefer to keep the cash outside CPF for the flexibility. But for those who prefer safety, predictability and guaranteed payouts, ERS is attractive. You are effectively converting your cash into a guaranteed lifelong income stream. Next, another way to boost your CPF is by transferring money from your OA to SA. This will effectively let you earn an extra 1.5% guaranteed interest every year. For example, if you transfer 20k from OA to SA at age 30, by the time you hit 55, that will give you an extra $16,000 just from the magic of compounding. The trade-off is of course liquidity. Once money is moved into SA, it's locked out for retirement. You can't use it for housing, education or even certain investments anymore. And the opportunity cost for this is huge. For housing, locking up too much in your SA means that you might be forced to take on a larger mortgage, dip into your own cash savings to pay for the property, or even give up the option to upgrade in the future, something which I know the White Grace will disapprove of. For investments, it means losing the flexibility to deploy that money into opportunities like stocks, REITs, or any other assets that could potentially earn you much higher returns. That's why it is not always wise to transfer CPF OA to SA so early in your career. Personally, I would recommend considering this move only when you are older, say in your 40s or 50s, when you are more certain that you no longer need your OA for housing, education or investments. Moving on, by delaying the start of your CPF Life payouts from 65 to 70 years old, you will get to boost your payouts by as much as 35% for as long as you live. For example, if you are expecting $1,650 a month starting at 65, delaying it to 70 could boost it to over $2,200 per month. But is it worth it? The short answer is It depends on how long you are able to live lor. Based on the numbers, the break-even point is around age 84. So if you live beyond that, then delaying it to 70 will give you more money overall as compared to starting at 65. But if you pass away earlier, then too bad lah. You may not get back as much. Because of that, this strategy makes more sense for people who have other income sources such as dividends, rental income or part-time work to cover their retirement expenses, and don't really need to rely on CPF Life payouts that much. And of course, it makes sense for those who are in good health and expect to live well into their 80s or 90s, which by the way is becoming more and more possible given that Singapore is in the blue zone where people are living longer lives. If you belong in this group, then delaying your CPF Life payouts from 65 to 70 is a very good way to maximize your lifetime income. Speaking of maximizing, if you really want to squeeze out the most of CPF Life, another option that you can consider is the basic plan. With the basic plan, your monthly payouts will be slightly lower as compared to the standard plan. But here's the key. Under the basic plan, only about 10 to 20% of your retirement account savings is deducted as CPF Life premium, while the bulk of your money stays in your RA. This means if you pass away earlier, your beneficiaries will receive a much higher bequest as compared to the standard or escalating plans. This is different as compared to the standard plan and the escalating plan, where all of your RA savings are deducted upfront. Additionally, any interest that you earn in CPF Life will remain in the CPF Life pool to support everyone's lifelong payouts and won't be paid back to your beneficiaries. So what does this mean? If you look at the total payouts and the total bequest amounts across the three plans, they all start off roughly equal at age 65. But between 70 to 85 years old, the basic plan actually delivers the highest total value. And the difference is not small, In this example, by age 80, the basic plan could give you about $385,000, while the standard and escalating plans only deliver around $266,000. That's a difference of about $123,000, which is huge. However, beyond age 90, the escalating plan becomes the most worth it plan since its payouts grow by 2% every year, while the standard and basic plans payouts remain fixed. What this means is that if your priority is to leave behind more money for your family, or if you are more conservative and don't expect to live past your 80s, then the basic plan will give you the highest value. Last but not least, another way to boost your CPF is by investing your CPF OA savings. By default, OA only earns 2.5% interest, which is safe but won't give you much returns. For those who can afford to take some risk and have a long investment horizon, you can consider investing your CPF OA money. Two popular funds that CPF members often look at are the Amundi Index MSCI World Fund and the Amundi Prime USA Fund. The Amundi Index MSCI World Fund is a low-cost, globally diversified fund that gives you exposure to companies across developed markets like the US, Europe, and Japan, whereas the Amundi Prime USA Fund focuses on the US market, giving you direct exposure to American giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. The advantage here is clear. Instead of leaving your money idle at 2.5%, you are tapping into the higher long-term growth potential of global markets. Over decades, even modest market returns can compound into a much larger retirement pot. Of course, this comes with investment risk. Unlike CPF's guaranteed interest, investments can rise and fall. That's why this strategy only makes sense if you have the discipline to ride out volatility and commit for the long term. But here's a tip. If you want to maximize returns, you can consider deploying your CPF OA funds only during a market crash. That way, you get to increase your potential upside when the market eventually recovers. For more details on how to invest your CPF OA savings, do check out my video here. But what about CPF SA? Unfortunately, the investment options for SA are very limited, as most funds struggle to beat the 4 to 5% guaranteed return that CPF SA already provides. This means for SA, the best strategy is often to just leave it as it is. So there you have it. 8 ways to boost your CPF for retirement. Hope you found it useful. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every week.